Chris, Delaware strat-o-matic. I figured there's a new channel that has started up, the channel that named after the owner, Earl Reed, and he's a Delaware strat-o-matic player as well. Got a couple of decent videos on, brand new channel, might want to check it out, Earl Reed. But he just put one up about the scoring system he uses for strat-o-matic, so I figured, okay, he's up in the game, I probably ought to put one on so y'all can see how I'm scoring my games. You've seen a couple of shots of the score sheets, but I thought I'd show it to you pretty in depth here. I searched the interweb and I found this score sheet here, and I pretty much just saved the image and printed off, and I've got dozens of copies of it. It's fantastic. You've got a place for the score by innings up on top, and then you can list the players, and then you can score the play-by-play, and you can also tabulate the stats on a single sheet of paper. Got to be able to write really small, but I've been writing really small taking stats for years, so I mean it's not that difficult for me. Some people need more room, but this works good. You might recognize this game, Buell, Milwaukee no-hitter to 2 out, bottom of the 9th. This is the one I did a video of where I finished it up. But Bob Buell was rocking Pittsburgh until Roberto Clemente in his 4th at bat tied it up with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, and it went to the 11th inning and the Braves pulled it out. But anyway, I digress. Good place to write down the players' names, write down their positions. What I have done since this, I'll draw a little slash here, and for their position I'll put the numbers. So shortstop would be 6 on top of the slash, and underneath, if I'm playing basic, it would be the fielding rating. So that way, just like Earl said in his video, don't have to keep flipping through the deck. You've got all the information handy right here. Whenever I'm playing advanced, I'll always put it over here on the very edge of this, and over here I will indicate arm rating and also the error rating, again, so that way I've got the information handy. Earl alluded to a way of separating the innings differently, because traditionally first inning would be here, second inning would be here, third inning here, and it doesn't leave a lot of room if you go into a lot of extra innings. This was an 11th inning game, I would have been writing it over here, but how I do it is I'll do the inning and I'll separate the innings with a horizontal line under out number 3, just like that. So that way I can go back through, I know exactly which inning I'm in. And when a player gets to where they're being substituted, such as Buell, he was pinch hit for in the where was he pinch hit? Pinch hit in the top of the 11th, I believe it was. When a player is taken out of the game, I put a vertical line next to their last at bat. And then pinch hitter, I'll indicate the lineup position, number 9. Same with the relief pitcher. Don McMahon came in, so he was number 9. Anytime a pitcher is taken out, you'll see these squiggly lines here. Harvey Haddix was taken out by Pittsburgh in the 10th inning. So I drew the squiggly line here over and down, so that way everything over here, those are Haddix's batters. These are his responsibility. And his relief pitcher, Fred Green, you can tell because squiggly line, he was pinch hit for, so I did that just in case the game went longer. Turns out it didn't. But all of these at bats in this area, they're his responsibility. A way to keep track of it, just something I've done. Then of course when the game's over, it's easy enough. At bats, hits, RBI, doubles, triple, homer, runs, stolen bases, I indicate Ks and walks here. If there's an error, I do it here. If there's a passed ball, I do it over here close to the player. I'm not concerned yet with putouts and assists, because that's a whole lot more counting. I do enough counting as it is. You ought to see my spreadsheet. It's 20 columns across. But I've got a lot of the math already programmed into it, like batting average, on base, slugging, on base plus, ERA, Ks per 9, hits per 9, Ks per walks. So I don't have to enter everything in. Some of the math is done for me, and I saw something that Earl was doing on his, and I'm thinking about adding total batters faced, but I can do that with the math on the spreadsheet as well. I don't have to count it myself. So a little hybrid of paper and plastic, if you will. But this way, I mean, I can go back to these sheets and I've got everything, boom, right here. This is from my 1960 NL replay, but everything is on the sheet. If I go back to the game, I can see exactly what the players' totals were without having to go back through and add up. I can recount the game on the score sheet. And I've also got another project going, and it's a change in kind of, it'll show some of the changes in how I score. And I call it the Kent and Sussex County Histories Baseball League. And I took the all-time teams and I split them up into 12 teams, 16 players each. And I've got a schedule set out and everything. But this series, this is a 3-game series on one sheet of paper, and it's got everything on it. Middletown versus Milford, Series 1. You've got the first game, Milford won 4-3. The second game, Milford won 8-6, and the third game, Milford won 13-0. And that was Bob Lemon pitching. Win, complete game shutout, 9 innings. You see down here, 3 hits allowed, 3 strikeouts, 5 walks. Everything is here. I mean, I was able to fit 3 games onto one sheet of paper because using the vertical like this, splitting the innings, know where it is, get to the end, draw a line to separate the game. Players listed here, and this is what I was talking about earlier. Chapman. Let's get one. Al Simmons. He's a left fielder, number 7, fielding rating of 1. And the all-time teams are only in basic, so that's the basic. But I mean, it's a very straightforward system of keeping it. There's plenty of room at the bottom where I can write down the tabulation, so that way I can have that readily available to enter it into the spreadsheet on plastic. But again, if I go back, everything for all 3 of these games is on one sheet of paper. You know, just keeping everything in one place. And as you can see, I've got a few series gone down already. Fenwick Island and Seaford. The ball clubs are in towns that are in Kent and Sussex County, Delawares, and they've also got names too. I think it's the Seaford Blues and the Fenwick Island Bears. But Fenwick Island, Seaford won 2 of 3 of that series, and again, you look down here and you can see some of the better performances. Like Charlie Keller over there for Fenwick Island on the right-hand side, the cleanup batter. George Keller, rather, went 6 for 3, 2 homers, 3 RBIs, 4 runs scored, 1 strikeout, 5 walks, and a sacrifice hit. And boom, and also keep track of hitting streaks, the numbers to the left of the player's name. In parentheses is an inactive greatest streak. Just the number written is a current streak, so I can keep track of that as well. But no, it's this is how I score my games. So I've answered your challenge, Earl, and I have decided to put this on YouTube for everybody to see. So I've gotten an idea or 2 from you, and hopefully maybe you'll get an idea or 2 from me, and maybe betwixt and between, you know, things will get perfected, as it were. And you, all the rest of you as well. I really hope to be able to maybe throw some ideas out for everybody out there in Stratland, and hopefully get to meet some of you someday, roll a game, you know, Skype, face-to-face. Yeah, I'll get a hotel room for a day or 2 just so I can roll dice and not visit anything in the area. You know, it's Strat, hey. But yeah, that's about it. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. Again, please visit www.strat-o-matic.com. That's www.strat-o-matic.com. That's the wonderful company that's been producing this game for 55 years and has given enjoyment to thousands and thousands of baseball fans the world over. Also visit www.som, as in Mike, ERS.com, www.somers.com. It's a great forum A lot of projects there, including my Sussex County Histories Baseball League and dozens of others, and some really great forum members. So check it out, and I hope to see you around. Keep on rolling, folks. Rolling.